forth in front of Harvey, who continued to kneel by the body. Shaking his head in disgust, Harvey roughly turned the corpse over. He paused a moment and stared at the dead man's face. He then looked up at Bart. Bart stopped pacing and looked down. "What do we do?" "I'll take care of the body, but you need to get out of here." "I have to leave? But where should I go?" Bart asked. "I don't care where you go, you just can't stay here. Go! Get out of here, and I'll get rid of this. Just don't come back. I mean it." Max watched as the man who called himself Bart Haston ran from the house, fleeing into the dark night, while Harvey dragged the body from the entry toward the door leading to the basement. From his hiding place, Max could no longer see Harvey, but he could hear the squeaky hinges of the basement door as it opened, and then he heard the thumping sound of the body as it roughly made its way down the wooden stairs. Wanting a closer look at the dead man, Max crept stealthily down the stairs. He paused when he reached the first-floor landing, thinking better of the idea. What if Harvey locked him in the room again? While Max had no aversion to small, dark places, he didn't want to be trapped without access to food or water. He wouldn't have survived this long without exercising some degree of caution. Harvey was unpredictable. Ally one moment, nemesis the next. Before Max could make up his mind on how to proceed, Harvey returned from the basement, slamming the door shut behind him. I guess that settles that, Max thought, preparing to slink back upstairs. "There you are," Harvey said when he spied Max by the stairs. "You could have helped me, you know." Sitting down on a step, Max silently watched. Harvey sat next to him. "What am I thinking of? When have you ever been of any help?" Max closed his eyes for a moment, waiting for him to go off on the same old tangent. Harvey had been searching since the day they had met, and he continued to search. Sometimes he blamed Max for not finding it, yet Max could tell he had other things on his mind right now, namely a corpse in the basement. "The body is going to start smelling, but I imagine that's going to bother you more than me." He smiled at Max. "That old trunk down there was going to waste. The body fit inside nicely, but it took a little convincing." Harvey laughed. "Folded him up like a pretzel. Of course, once rigor sets in, well, I wouldn't want to be the one to have to unwrap that package." Max looked away and stared across the room. "Don't look so smug. It's not like I shot the guy, and I've seen how you deal with some of the dead bodies you drag in here. At least I didn't dismember the guy like you did the last one." Max looked back to Harvey with lazy eyes. He blinked several times and yawned. "I suppose it was best you stayed upstairs during the commotion. You might have gotten yourself shot. And then, what good would that do me?" Max stood up and started to go back up the stairs. "Hey, where are you going?" Harvey stood up and watched Max make his slow way up to the second floor. "Fine, go hide under the bed. All you do is sleep anyway," Harvey called out. When Max reached the second-floor landing, he paused and silently looked down at Harvey, who had turned his back to him and started walking back to the door leading to the basement. Even the threat of being locked in a room hadn't completely dampened Max's curiosity. He wanted to get a closer look at the dead guy. Harvey stood over the trunk, its lid open. The overhead light flickered on. "I bet you had no idea you'd be spending the night in a trunk in the basement of this old boarded-up house," Harvey said aloud. "How did you manage to get yourself shot? Is someone going to be looking for you?" Hands on hips, he glanced around the basement, trying to decide what to do next. "I can't really leave you down here. It isn't just the smell, but he could come back looking for you, and then I might never get rid of him. And frankly, I don't need anyone else hanging around here. I have less than 2 weeks to find it, and I can't do it if I have to deal with him."